Okay, so I want to extend our conversation from last week on personality styles. Who was here last week for personality styles? Okay, good. Most of us weren't. Perfect. That's good. No, that's all right. That's good. Because the personality styles, I'll have for you guys handouts in a minute here. Let me go remind my forgetful son here to make sure he comes out with those. Because personality styles, why are personality styles important, Gulai? Why are they important?
He wants it.
He knows?
Yeah.
Because nobody's the same.
Nobody's the same? Yeah. Are you familiar with DISC?
I did one as a police officer.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
So I've dealt with it.
Yeah. So, actually, you know, law enforcement, teachers, military are all great for real estate because you have to be patient and you have to deal with lots of different types of people. If you've ever been a waiter or a waitress, okay, that's also good training ground because you got to deal with different types of people. You got to engage people when they may not necessarily want to be engaged, even though they're there to be engaged. Weird, but true, okay? And so, because this is a people business, right? And so very quickly, I'm just gonna go through the DISC's personality profiles, and I mean very, very quickly. There's lots of different personality profile formats out there, platforms out there. DISC is just easy because it's simple and it's easy for me to be able to go take 3 or 4 different types of tests out there. They're all free. And for you to understand, who are you? First of all, who are you? Who are you? Because once you understand who you are, then you can understand who I'm not and be able to switch gears on that. Because if you're only you, you're only going to connect with people like you. Does that make sense? Tell me your name.
Karen.
Karen. You're only going to connect with people like you, Karen. And that's cool. That's all right. But I want to help people, not just those people, right? I want to help more people, right? And so that's why it's important to know the different personality types for you to be able to switch gears and appreciate and respect different ways people are thinking and communicating so that I can connect with more people. All right, I'm going to do this like this maybe. Okay, and we got D, and these are the drivers. Okay, I'm going to name them myself. We got I, and those are the expressives. I know that doesn't start with an I. Okay, they're called influencers. Okay, S's, those are the amiables. Okay, influencers, stable. That's a stupid name, but that's how it is. Okay, amiable. And then C, those are the analytics. Okay, now D's and I's are going nice and fast. They move fast, which means analytics and amiables move slow. Okay, D's and C's are, hold on, what do I say? How do I say that? Expressives, thinks, sees, feels, these. They're logic oriented. There we go. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. And then expressives and amiables are emotion driven, okay? That's important. These are important because you may be talking to a high C who moves a little bit slower and is more logic driven, but on the other side, an amiable, you're an amiable and you move slow too, but you're more emotion driven, okay? And so it is with my ability to be able to connect with people because sometimes I could be analytic and I'm using all these analytic words because my beautiful analytic mind is just thinking about data and numbers and statistics, and we need to really make sure that we understand what this data means. When they're an expressive and they just want it to feel good. You with me? Okay, expressive.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, right? First time I met you, I'm like, there we go.
Like, girl.
Quadruple expressive. I'm married to one, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, right?
We appreciate it.
Exactly. We need to be appreciated, not dumped down with statistical data, which could be important, but it's got to feel right. It's got to feel right, okay? Super important. You're talking to somebody at an open house, and you only have seconds to engage, right? Because some of you guys are more analytically minded, right? And you can't be you, Karen, you can't be you, because then you're going to miss out on the opportunity to connect with Cheyenne. And Cheyenne's motivated, and she wants to take some action. And so that's the significance of understanding different personality styles. So we're going to play a game. If I ever get a handout. let me see. Buying us time here. You got me? Okay. Holy moly. Is it printed on both sides?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Whew. Joe to save the day. Man, I was printed over there, it wasn't working. I was printed over here, it wasn't working. Okay, don't get too distracted, okay? So what I have up here was on the back side on the quadrant, okay? And if you want a full copy of the playbook, email me. I'll send you a free copy of the playbook, Pauly C at kw.com. Okay, the playbook is a compilation of mindset, strategies, and skills that got me to 100 transactions my first 3 years in the business. So first 3 years, 100 transactions. 2008, 9, 10. In Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, you guys really weren't feeling it here, okay? Las Vegas, Nevada, we were ground zero. It was a nightmare, okay? The market was losing value month over month, and it was a total disaster, okay? So while the market was crashing, my business was doubling every single year, okay? So if I could do it then, you could do it now. No or yes?
Yes.
Okay, so pay attention because these are the skills that you'll need to make sure that you're able to connect with more people, to serve more people. And so the playbook has all this, lots of goodies in here on mindset and strategy and skills. And I start with DISC because it all starts with who am I and who am I talking to be able to connect with more people. Okay, so last week we talked about, I think we did D's and I's. I don't know if do you remember what we did last week?
Yes.
D's and I's, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Because Ruby was off front row here and I was grilling Ruby on the, yeah. Okay, so Ruby remembers because she has a traumatic experience, remember.
I'll take them all. Good practice.
Absorb the pain, right, absorb the pain. Good news, what you work on here and the conversations that we have in here don't cost you money. Okay, the conversations out there when you're practicing on those people at the open house cost you money. Okay, so practice. Doctors practice, attorneys practice, pilots practice. You should practice. You should practice because we make money by what we say, not the statistical data that you know. That's important. That's important. But knowing who people are, knowing who I am, to be able to make sure that I have a better opportunity to talk to more people. Okay, here's the game. Other side, all the beautiful DISC words, okay? And these DISC words are words that I made up. So these are not the words or all the words. They're just words that I thought fit for somebody who's more driver personality. They're fast and they're aggressive and they're bottom line oriented. Or somebody who's high I, who they're a feelsy and they need to express themselves and talk about their feelings and it's all about relationships. Or a high S, who's the friendly. And they're emotion driven too, but they're not so fast and aggressive like the expressives. They're a little bit slower oriented, okay? Versus the high C's who are analytic, statistical, and data oriented. Okay, words that fit those personality styles for you to be able to start listening first to who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? And identifying those personality types by the words that they're using, but also by their, and we're not gonna get into this for time's sake, go back to this later on the DISC quadrant, like personality motivations, fears, behavioral highlights, and thinking. Okay, go back to that later. I'm not going to cover that today because of lack of time. But by understanding those things and listening to their way that they're talking, what they're saying, and how they're saying it, what personality type that they may more likely be. Okay, now look, all of this is just indicators. They're not dictators. Okay, and yes, there's a blend, and you may have certain personality styles in certain situations versus other situations. Okay, but we're not getting into all that. We're just getting into being a little bit better at understanding who am I talking to, so I can better respect you and talk to you in a way that you'll better receive. Does that sound good? Okay, so these words on the other side are words we're going to use to practice having closing on people. What do I mean? Let's work on. Well, I don't have it out here. Last week we worked on closing for the appointment. Should we do that again, or should we pull the cards out?
Pre-qualification.
Pre-qualification? How would we use that in pre-qual though?
You can ask them question, what's the time frame?
Yeah, thank you for the recommendation. Appointments? Okay, let's do it. No, I like the cards are good because they bring out different. Like pull the cards, yeah. But the appointments are always good just to work with because it's simple. Most of the time, we either have very little skill with helping people to the appointment. Helping people to the appointment, right? Close the appointment, right? Helping people to the appointment, or we're in constant progress, Ruby, of maintaining that skill. Because skills in any facet, anywhere, need to continuously be sharpened, or else those skills erode. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, so let's work on first, let's go S's. Yeah, we'll go S's. Okay, so S words that could be used, these aren't all the words, when you're talking to a high S, the amiable, the friendly, comfortable, peaceful, no hassle, easy way, relax, low maintenance, secure, smooth, easy, appreciate, connect, long term, no problem, respect, same page, value, together. Okay, you getting a vibe for the energy of those words, right? Are those your words? They are. Yeah, tell me your name again. Frederick. I knew you were right. Frederick, I could tell. Frederick was like, yeah. Oh, yeah, so nice, right? Versus the high D. Look at these high D words. Bottom line, exactly, grasp, control, get it done, appreciate, accomplish, influence, win, closed, efficient, cut to the chase, achieve, decision, partner, waste time, down to business, shoot straight, leverage, quick. You see how different that energy is? Those D words? Who's D? Who was like, oh yeah, I like those words. Yeah, see? Right? Who I talk to matters in regards to how I connect with them based off of what type of conversation am I having with them? Okay, let's practice S's, okay? Because last week we did D's and I's. So here's the game we're gonna play. I'm gonna give you an objection, and you don't have to play if you don't want to. This can be an observational opportunity for you, okay? R is repeat, A is approve, or acknowledge. Let's do this. We don't need this anymore. And this is not good, and the brakes are not on, so it's getting away from me. Okay. We're gonna trigger because to the disc words. Okay? And then we're gonna move to a question. What question? Any question. Okay. So it sounds like this. Give me the objection.
I'm not in a hurry.
You're not in a hurry? I totally understand that because you want to be comfortable with the market before you do anything, and make sure that that you're in the right relationship, and that there's really a low maintenance way for you to move forward. Like this is going to be easier for you. And so why don't we just sit down and talk about it, and then you can figure out what you're going to do from there. You want to talk Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 6? Okay, let's do also this. Close with assumptive close. What's an assumptive close, Ruby?
Give them a time. Tuesday at 6, Wednesday at 4.
Tuesday at 6, Wednesday at 4. Weekdays, weekends, evenings, mornings. Just stop asking for appointments. They're not going to follow you, Frederick. They're not. I know. Your amiable mind is like, oh, I just want, hey, what do you think? Maybe we could do that? No, will not follow you. They won't follow you, right, Kevin? Because you know who you are to them? Who are you to them? Stranger. What did Mama say about strangers, D? Don't talk to them. No matter how nice you're dressed at the open house, they're not going to lead you to the appointment. You need to lead them. Now, what type of words you use and how comfortable you are in making their clear value to the appointment. We talked about that last week, right? Like clear value to the appointment. I'm not going to go over that today because there's too much to cover, okay? But I need to make them feel comfortable in the conversation using words that they like, okay? It's gone. I got to do this better next time. Fast or slow, right? So one more time. The objection might sound like this.
I'm gonna do next year.
Next year. Yeah. Oh, you're going to do next year. Oh, okay. Well, I can appreciate that because there's a lot of people who are kind of questioning how comfortable they are with the market and they want to feel secure before they do anything. So why don't we do this? We could sit down and talk a little bit about your options. Does weekdays or weekends work better for you? Well, let's just have a conversation around it. Break script.
Yeah.
Okay? Sound good? Yeah? Okay? All right. If you're just watching and you just want to see how this all goes, sit down. Don't stand up. If you're going to play, stand up. Okay. Here we go. David's peer pressuring people. Okay. Watch me guide you. Okay? It's like the little bouncing ball when you were a kid, when you saw a little song on TV, right? Some of you guys didn't see that. Okay. All right. So here we go. Repeat, approve, or acknowledge, right? So approve could be good, great, fantastic, wonderful. Or it could be, I respect that, I appreciate that, I understand that. I might feel the same way if I were you. Okay? So approve or acknowledge. And then look, here's the key. Use the trigger word because to get to the disc words. Because when you use the trigger word because, that's when you're going to look down and go, okay, let me use some words here. Because look, scripts are just a roadmap for you guys to have good conversations. Okay? Now the scripts are really about internalizing data, internalizing ideas and concepts so you guys have better conversations. Because really the best conversations are not going to come from a piece of paper. The best conversations are going to come from your mind. That beautiful thing that all of you have nestled in between those little ears of yours. Some of you guys bigger ears than others. That you can start thinking about. Okay? So that's why I want you to use these disc words as a freestyle where you what am I going to say there about that? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick on people first who've done it before so you can listen to them. So if you haven't done it before, don't worry. But pay attention. Pay attention to what I'm doing here. Repeating, they're approving, they're triggering with the word because, they're saying some disc words, and they're closing assumptively. Ready? Okay. Ruby. I'm not sure if the timing's right. Thanks for walking me through the open house, but I'm really just, a couple months out still from seriously looking around.
Oh, you're only a couple months out.
Yeah.
Okay, great. No, I understand that because people want to be sure about what they're doing before they actually take a step and start looking. So why don't we just sit down and talk about it? I'll get you some information to make sure you're comfortable with the buying process, and then we'll figure out what you want to do with that from there. I'm open Tuesday at 4, Wednesday at 6.
Okay, all right. Not bad. Okay.
I'm not feeling as nervous.
Are you, what are you? Hi, which one are you?
Feelsy.
You feel I?
Yeah, a little bit
I?
of DT, but
Yeah, because you go fast.
yes.
You tend to go fast.
I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
so I kind of before they
Okay, look, we're in front of a bunch of people, so that's fine, okay? All right, we're in front of a bunch of people. But remember, these don't cost you anything. When you're out at the open house, it costs you money.
I do force myself to slow down when I'm talking.
Slow down, right?
It feels difficult.
Because remember, when you trigger because, it's the real practice here is practicing these disc words. Okay, that's the real practice here. Is us really utilizing disc words at a higher level with what we're doing. Now, this is a little strategy here that we didn't really talk about, but it's something that we coach on here in Power Hour, right? But the value is me utilizing those words because I'm not sure that I heard you use an S word here unless you got it in your pocket on which one you did. Comfortable? Okay, the amiable heard it. The amiable heard it. He's like, I heard. Right. What? Son of a mother. Look. What? The D didn't hear it. But the S heard it. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's what's happening. You're selectively listening to stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
I did hear.
I heard the D, which was the S, or which was the fast, and he heard it. He heard the comfortable. That's how significant and subtle this is for you to be able to step up your level of communication. Remember, real estate relationships, real estate conversations, we're working on our conversation skills. Okay, all right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Repeat, approve, trigger it with the word because, using those S words. This is the opportunity to use those S words and then close assumptively. Tuesday at 4, Wednesday at 6. Okay, all right. David. Just a couple months out from seriously, looking at property, so I think it's a little early for me to set an appointment.
Pauly, I can understand that. A lot of people are waiting right now with the chaos in the market. If you could sit down and run through the information so you felt more comfortable with the decisions you would be making and more secure with what is happening, how would that make you feel?
Make me feel okay, feel better, I think.
A little better?
Yeah.
Well, look, why don't we get together on either Thursday or Friday and sit down and go over everything? Not a commitment, just so that you're comfortable with the choices that you make as you go forward.
Only one though.
Only one.
Yeah.
Two.
Okay. No, three. Three's the. You get three, you got the gold star.
Three gets gold star.
Okay. All right. What happened? What happened? I liked it. Did that sound good? It did sound good. It did. Yeah. Right, Kevin? It sounded good. Okay. What'd he miss though? People who've been coming to Power Hour. What'd he miss?
He didn't repeat it.
Did not repeat. Did not repeat. Right. Started with the approval.
Yeah.
Did not repeat. Used some disc words, but in the close. Okay, now actually, this is a good example of you don't have to do this and then this and then this. That's not the point. The point is you understanding like, okay, there is a process on tools that help me. Hey, D, I'm listening to you. I hear you. I hear you. And I understand what you're talking about. I appreciate those thoughts. I respect those feelings. Okay? Because how often do you feel heard, even in your own relationships? Weird faces. Okay? All right? So that's just the practice of it for us going through, okay, here we go. Because I'm going to stand here, and what you should be doing is looking at me going, okay, here we go. Bang, 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 bang. Here we go. For the purpose of internalizing the concept. That sounded pretty good, and that probably would have worked. That was good. That was good. Okay? But for the purpose of practice on understanding, hey, they need to hear you. They need to feel appreciated, respected, okay? And then how do I lead them to the promised land? Okay, here we go. Joe, a couple months really, I'm out from looking at properties.
Oh, so you're a couple months out from looking at property?
Yeah.
I can completely understand that. Because I'm sure that everyone right now is uncertain of the market conditions and they want a little bit more information so they can feel comfortable through this transaction.
There we go.
It sounds like you may want to hear some valuable information, so why don't we get together? I have availability after my open house at 3 p.m. or maybe tomorrow at 9 a.m.
There we go. There we go. Okay, Gulai. It's a couple months actually I'm out from looking at properties.
Couple months?
Yeah.
I totally understand, Paul, where you're coming from, because you would like to feel comfortable and understand the market, and want to be connect with the agent also to build a relationship, start to look at the
Ooh, yes. Warm fuzzies.
So I'm available. We just have it's my fiduciary responsibility. I would like to get together 10-15 minutes. I will share the information so you can decide what's the best route for you. Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 5.
There we go. There we go. That was amazing, considering Gulai has almost no feelings. Right? Yeah. That was incredible. No, seriously. Like, we know, right? So look at me. Seriously, that was good. That was really good. Yeah. An amiable needs to feel in love. Right, Frederick?
Here.
Yeah, right. Dude, it's the shirt. I can't stop. You're okay?
And 10 and 15 minutes part, so I feel I will not waste a lot of time, but when we are in the appointment, it will not be like 10-15 minutes. I love that part.
Oh, all right.
Actually, it will be a short period appointment.
Yeah. We won't waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right? Probably because you're a D.
I feel like I'm A's and D.
Okay, yeah, right. But actually, high I's and S's you got to be careful too of this. You run into a high I or a high S, and they take you to show the house. The house tour takes an hour.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, it's okay for them to show you the house, but you got to be real careful with that. More often than not, I try to not let them show me the house. I go, let me look at it through the eyes of the buyer. I just want to run through and get a good look at it. But sometimes they're high I, and they're like, no, let me get in here and show. And you can't deny that, because if you deny that, you deny how they feel. And now, strike one. okay? But how do I mitigate that process? Because maybe they're gonna show me every little thing and they're gonna explain everything. And I got this in Italy, and actually, oh my gosh, the vendor, he was amazing. Boy, wait a minute, what are we doing here? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I wanna sit down and talk to you, and we're talking about the vendor in Italy's Shih Tzu. So,
I love them.
true though, right? Right? Is okay, and that's good for the relationship, but I got to be careful and be able to identify who I'm talking to for efficiency's sake, because I don't get paid by the hour. Okay, here we go. High S's, high S's, high S's. Ready, Cheyenne?
I'm ready.
Okay. Look, I'm a couple months out from looking at properties.
Okay, I hear that you are a couple months out. That's completely understandable. The market is kind of chaotic right now, and I know that you want to have peace of mind with your decision. It's a very big transaction.
Yep.
How about we take some time, maybe go grab some coffee, sit down. How does 2 p.m. work for you tomorrow?
Okay, all right, there we go. All right. Did you hear the feelsy though?
Yes.
Because she's on the feel side.
feel it.
She feels it. That was good. That was good. She's on the feel side, so that was a connector. Okay, here we go. Frederick, you ready?
No, I changed my mind.
All right, here we go. Lukey, let's go. Look, I'm a couple months out, actually.
You're a couple months out?
Yeah.
I appreciate you for saying that, because in reality, people do want to make sure that when they're making this decision, they're handling it in a way that works best for them, easy, smooth, and secure.
There we go.
How about we get together, say Tuesday, Thursday? How does 9:30 sound for you? Or maybe even 12?
There we go. I like that.
Way better than last week.
Oh, way better, way better. Yeah, stop thinking so much.
Exactly.
Right, and just follow the process. Dude, I actually, this is why.
Think about questions.
Yeah, this is why I love coaching and training, because I learn. Actually, that was a nice high D, right? So I loved how you actually closed that up. We were like, how does this sound? And then I thought you were going to leave it at, how does this sound this time? And then you provide a little option on the end, comfortably and casually. Felt good as a feelsy, as a high D. Like, I still would have went for that, right? But then it really connected with that energy of a high S, an amiable, a feelsy. Okay, here we go. Jing, a couple months out actually from doing anything.
Okay, I hear you. A couple months out. I totally understand, because it's a big decision for you. You want to be more comfortable, know more things about the house buying process. I can provide you some of your options. I can help you to know more about the current market. Maybe we can grab coffee sometime, maybe this afternoon at 3, or maybe tomorrow at 2.
Okay, there we go. Good job. Sorry, tell me one more time. Jack.
Yeah.
Jack. Okay, here we go, Jack. Look, I'm a couple months out actually from doing anything.
A couple months out, okay. I completely understand. It's a big purchase. I want you to feel secure. I want you to feel secure. How about we...
Sure, go ahead. You can go for it.
How about we set something up to get you prepared for this purchase? Does 9 o'clock on Tuesday or Wednesday sound good?
Yeah, okay, there we go. I like it. All right. Which quadrant identifies with you the most, you think?
I feel like I'm in a mixture between D and S.
D and S.
Yeah,
okay.
I like both.
Okay, all right. Take the test online. There's lots of places you can go and take it for free. Okay, all right, here we go. Ben, look, I'm a couple months out.
Oh, you're a couple months out?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely understand that, because it's a crazy market, as we both know. Tell you what, I like to schedule an appointment with you, let's say sometime tomorrow at 2 to talk about how we're gonna make your home search as smooth and peaceful as possible. How does that sound?
Okay, all right, I'll take it. Not bad. Better than yesterday, right?
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday you got grilled. We do this online Wednesdays at noon. I don't know what time it is.
Yes.
Yeah, go to Real Sales Talk online. That's my channel for training. Okay, Real Sales Talk, and you can see there's a link there. You guys can join Wednesdays virtually. And Ben was on virtually yesterday, and he first time, right? First time, and he butchered it, right? Okay, right? And then he came back today. Dude, good job. Yeah, after 2.5 hours of sleep.
I work overtime.
Right. They got them as yeah. Okay, good. Hey, look, Ben, what was good there is you didn't use S words here, but you had enough awareness to bring the S words and drop them in here. Sounded good, right? It wasn't exactly the model, but it sounded good. It sounded good. Okay, are you playing too?
Sure.
Yeah? You're standing, so I don't, what's going on back there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will try.
Okay, look, a couple weeks still before I do anything.
Yeah, I hear you saying that it's a couple weeks before you're ready, and that completely makes sense. Because I want you to feel comfortable in what your decisions are, and make sure that it's a smooth, easy process. So why don't we sit down, chat, have some coffee? How is Wednesday or Thursday mornings for you?
Okay, I like it. All right, we're going around one more time. C's. If you're playing stand, C's. David, look, honestly, I'm not sure it's actually probably too early for an appointment.
Pauly, I understand. A lot of people feel that it's too early when they start looking.
Mm-hmm.
I can absolutely appreciate that. What I'm hearing you say is that you want to make sense of the numbers and the outcome and have the best control. Would it help you to go over the pros and cons? Waiting or?
Yeah.
Why don't we schedule a time and we grab coffee, either Tuesday at 3 or Wednesday.
Okay, all right, I'll take it. Careful of a yes or no question before you close, because then you give them another exit. You give them another off ramp, right? Unless you're, what's it called? It's tie down. Unless you're tying them down on something that you know how they feel or they think. Hey, obviously, you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense, right? And they go, yeah, that's right. Right? Unless it's a tie down you know the answer to, don't give them another off ramp, because you're building momentum to help them. There's already some awkwardness or some rigidity on apprehension or anxiety that they're feeling. So I'm trying to make it nice and easy for them to go, hey, that's the next best step based off of what we're talking about. Okay, Joe, look, I'm actually probably still a couple months out for an appointment.
Oh, you're a couple months out?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I completely understand that, and because I think that maybe going over the numbers and figuring out when the right time is to make this informed decision is really important. So why don't we go ahead and meet up tomorrow at 3 or 5 p.m.
There we go. I like it. That was good. Okay, Luke, couple months out still.
You're a couple months out?
Yep.
I can completely appreciate that because, for most people it needs to make sense, and at the same time you want the outcome to be what's best for you and your family. So with that being said, how about we go ahead and get together maybe Tuesday at 4, or are you more of a news person?
There we go. I like it. Good job. Jack. Okay, Jack, look, I'm a couple months out still, honestly.
A couple months out,
Yep.
I completely understand.
Because
Because I want everything to be.
Because?
Ideally, I want the best decision for you, and understanding the pros and cons to when you want to buy and analyzing the market's important.
Mhm.
How about we set up time to go over everything and get you more sure about your decision?
Mm-hmm.
How does Tuesday or Wednesday sound?
There we go. All right, good job. Okay, D.
We're just doing C's.
C's. I'm a couple months out, honestly, still, D.
I understand that you're still a couple of months out, and I appreciate you letting me know that, because I know everyone needs to learn how to make sense of the market. So we could go on and look over some numbers and see with clarity what you need right now instead of a couple of months later. So how about us go grab some coffee Tuesday around 2 or Wednesday around 2, and we can get together and go over all of this market information.
There we go. Hey, D, that was good. That was real good.
So, I like your tone as well.
Yeah.
Because if I'm cautious, your tone giving is coming off perfectly.
Yeah.
Me as a cautious person.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am a cautious person.
See, you aligned.
So as you're talking to me, I'm feeling like you're going to give me the right outcome because your tone is matching up with the words that you're delivering.
Yeah.
Because Pauly when Pauly gives me the cautious words, I don't believe him.
You haven't heard me act yet.
Well, he's coming in. He's coming in.
You haven't heard me act yet. Well,
You're coming in, and it's perfect.
Yeah. Look, this is why this portion of it matters. Okay, which is you guys going back to and understand. Okay, a high C is about accuracy and specifics. Fears, conflict, and criticism. So be careful with C's because conflict and criticism are fears. Behavioral highlights conservative and serious. Analytical and observant, questioning with high standards. Okay, so watch out for that casual talk, that slang. Not gonna fly. Okay, thinking I need more information. This can't be right. Okay, that's why you guys have to study this and really understand the personality pieces of the high C's. That was a great observation. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. One more. Gulai, I'm a couple months out still.
Couple months out. I totally understand where you're coming from. How open-minded are you to open to look at the market see the numbers and see the pros and cons so you can make a more informed decision?
Yeah, I do want to do that. It's still a little early though, I think.
I know you are not going to do unless it makes sense to you. I'm available on Tuesday or the Wednesday at 4. We can get together. I will share the information. All you need, you can decide what's best for you.
Good. Yeah, that was good. I liked it. That was good. Okay, comments, questions, concerns, delusions. Huh? Yeah? Thoughts?
It's better to practice here than on your clients.
Okay.
And I will tell you, coming multiple times, because you get anxious, because it's like, oh my gosh, these people. And if you just realize everybody here wants you to succeed, but once you get past that story in your head, these words come out. And I've used several of his trainings just with this recent buyer. It's like, you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense for you, right? And walk them through it, and that's how I built that rapport.
Yeah. So, and then, look, once I have an understanding and some practice with the fundamentals, word selections to use, understanding that personality style, that's what the quadrant's about, then I can get into the real mastery of it, like he was saying, on like, how do I deliver that? How do I slow things down and make more emphasis on certain words? How do I manipulate in a good way what I say and how I say it, right? And how do I continue to be creative to help them feel comfortable? Because there's a whole section here that we didn't do on that we did last week around creating value for the appointment. Because if you're not clear on value to the appointment, we didn't do that today because the time was so jacked up. But if you're not clear with value to the appointment, then they're not going to follow you, right? They're not going to follow you. So you can tell them, I got information for you, D. So what? There's information everywhere, right? Like, why should I meet and take time out of my valuable life to sit with you, a stranger, and a salesperson? Why would I do that? Okay, here's why.
Well, she said to go over numbers, which was great.
Yeah, go over numbers, but here's the thing. A lot of you times you guys are talking about the features, but you're not talking about the benefits.
Yeah.
Numbers, feature, benefit is what?
So they have a better understanding of what their offer should be.
Better understanding, not bad. What else? What are benefits of numbers? Clarity.
We can get them a better deal.
Better deal. What'd you say, Frederick? Save money. Better deal. Yeah. Okay. So what are the benefits that I assign to appointments? Clearly. I mean clearly. What am I assigning? What value am I assigning to appointments? Here are mine. Clarity. Certainty. Timing, options,
Market.
How to win, Miriam, inside info. What's the inside info, Miriam? Numbers. Information they don't so readily have access to or have no access to. Okay, that's the inside market information. That's just my language, right? You said something else. No. Off-market properties. I use that one for buyers. Off-market properties. I'm a new agent, though, David. How am I going to get off-market properties? Go to team meetings where they talk about coming soons. There's this thing called Facebook, I think it's called.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Go join some Facebook groups that have coming soon off-market properties.
Or post it. I have a buyer looking for an off-market.
Post it. Yay.
Who have one?
You're right, exactly. Now, for people who are partially mentally insane like myself, like I call expireds in FSBOs, and like I call around neighborhoods and talk to investors. So I'm running into off-market deals all the time. But you don't have to be a cold caller to go find off-market properties. You can find them through social media. You can find them at your team meeting. Should be. If you're doing open houses, you're not knocking around your open house before you have an open house. As a new agent, like you're missing out. Honestly, nobody does that. Nobody does that. You should do that. You got nobody to talk to, and you're like, oh, much better in person. No kidding. It's called being human. Okay? I've never met anybody, David, who's like, I'm so much better on the phone. Like way better on the phone. Nobody says that. Okay, so if you want to talk to people in person, then go let the neighbors know on Friday that you're having an open house tomorrow at noon, and you'd love to see them there. Oh, by the way, how long have you lived here? How'd you choose the area? Where'd you move from? But when
You want to see your neighbor's house?
you want to see the neighbor's house? Yeah. If you could move, where would you go next? Bang. Because what happens when a property goes up for sale? Somebody else is thinking about it. And especially the first weekend, they're coming to that house to see how it compares. Open houses are not just good for buyers. They're good for sellers too, if you have the right conversations.
So what I did is I knocked on the door, asked them if I could put an open house sign on their side, on the side that's closest to the street.
Ooh, good one.
And a thank you note with my business card.
Yeah, nice. Love that.
I give a listing also. If somebody wants to do it.
Okay. See you lie after class. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Open houses are a huge opportunity for you guys to go talk to the neighbors and let them know you're having an open house. And it's a nice, warm introduction for letting them know, I want looky-loos. And I want to be strategic about the conversation. Hey, what should I tell people when they're coming through the neighborhood? You know, why'd you guys choose the area? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Where'd you move from? How long you been here? If you could move, where would you want to go next? Always asking that question, but I'm not going for it right away, right? Because that's what you guys do, especially when you got no skills, like you just go right for the throat. You go right for the first kiss without even going on a date. You just show up, you're like, hey, you want to move? Dude, it's like going on a date and you're like, hey, you want to kiss? We just got here. It's like, chill out. Rule number 1, get to know the people. Real estate's about relationships. Relationships are about conversations. I don't want to be salesy. Good, because that doesn't work. Be relational in the quality of the conversation, and the rest will take care of itself, Karen. You know what? There's no way for me to help them. You know what? I should probably follow up on them. You know what? We should set an appointment. The rest will take care of itself. The conversation, the closing is just a natural ending to a good conversation. A good conversation. A bad conversation, the ending is, hey, have a great day. Hey, have a great life. Hey, lose my card.
Don't you ever talk to me.
Don't talk to me ever again, okay? Okay, big takeaways. Cheyenne?
I need to slow down.
Slow down, good. Ruby? Slow down.
Relationships, always that reminder, relationships.
Yeah, get to know the people. Before I came in here, I had a personal office, and up on the wall, rule number 1, get to know the people. Don't forget that, because you do.
Well, and it's
You do.
to ask for the appointment if you've already built rapport. I realize that.
Right, and it's also important that with whatever resistance or rejection or objections that you get up front do not matter, because I don't care about that. Oh, you're working with another agent? Oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you don't have another agent. They're just sending you properties, right?
Yeah.
Or oh, they do have another agent and they're really committed to them. Cool.
Good luck.
Either way, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm attached to understanding people, connecting with people, and the rest will take care of itself. Did you have something, Jean? Did you want to say something?
I feel like I want to be more salesperson. I always talk to people like talk, then.
Right, because you're high D, right. You're like, come on, let's go. Where's the sale here? Like, and that's why it's harder for us to talk to Sphere. People like us, it's harder to talk to Sphere, typically.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're always hunting. We're always hunting. We're always hunting, right? And then the S's and the I's are always farming. Oh, throw some seeds over there. Oh, it's gonna, right, how's everything going? Right? And then in reality, you have to hunt and you have to farm. Both. Look, you're not hunting and farming, you got a problem. Because some of you guys are farmers, but you ain't hunting. Guess what? Year or two, you're out. You're out because you couldn't hunt. You have to hunt because your sphere is not going to give you what you need to survive initially. Okay, and some of you hunters, you're going to get burnt out. And it's going to be a lot more painful. So you got to get out of your box and figure out as the farmer, okay, how can I be more like a hunter? As a hunter, how can I be more like a farmer? And it's that nice balance in the middle, okay, to be able to grow your business, especially in the beginning. Okay, take away, Luke.
Honestly, practice this 1,000 times, then I'll be confident in it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like a bumpy road that just started getting worked on, and
yeah,
you know, I have some things I need to change over, like we talked about last time. I'm a questions guy, get straight to the point, but like you said, learn about people. So for me, it's just translating to a real estate style.
Yeah, this is actually the one thing right here. This is it right here. How do I have better conversations? And you'll hear that in some of the training here, but you're talking to a lot of people in this industry who actually don't do that. Who don't do that. But it's the one thing. I promise you, it's not setting up your database. It's not figuring out how to do open houses. It's not going to contracts class. Very, very good stuff. You need all that stuff. You have to do it. Need to do it. Okay? But it's not the one thing. Because if you learn all that stuff and you can't have conversations with people, you're out. You're out. No matter how good you look, no matter how nice you dress, no matter what your intentions are, not gonna happen. You gotta learn to be able to connect with people at a higher level. Kevin.
One is that I'm going to follow you.
Coach Pauly C.
I've done this type of work as a special agent. I would just go into the jail, just pick a couple days a week and talk to criminals.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm developing is confidential informants.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done this, and I get cursed out a lot, but I've developed some good lead informants in jail that will give me information on things to help my business outside.
You have such an advantage.
So, but I got to learn this.
Yeah.
To apply to.
And really, it's just the fundamentals, because a lot of people don't have that perseverance factor, that ability to grit through when I get resistance, when I get rejection, when I get objections. Because you guys haven't experienced that. You haven't experienced rejection. And oh, by the way, nobody likes objections. Nobody likes resistance. Okay, fine, right? Because resistance is like, I don't love you. Rule number one, I want to be loved.
Oh, you get spit on.
Right? Yeah, this guy, right? Right? No, you're not going to go to a door and go, and they open the door, and you're like, hey, I got this open house, and they go, bleh! That's not going to happen to you. But happen to him. That's what I'm saying, dude, you got a huge advantage psychologically, which everything actually begins. Who are you? Who do you think you are? You think you're a salesperson? Good luck. You think you don't want to offend people, or you don't want to be salesy, and you're living in that fear? Good luck. Good luck. You think that I want to help people, and I understand that this is a psychological game, and I know who I am, and I know who they are? Good luck. You see that? That's good, man. That's exciting. Okay, that's it. So everybody stand up.